What's up, everybody? Welcome to XMB. I don't need to take much of your time. At first, there is a small area of value here and area of volume here. The market middle section, structural pattern. Look at the approach, which is a structural approach. But here it comes, a little trick. We expect to see aggressive to the downside, but we did not. So apparently, there is a pattern formed in between there to expect that level for another run to the upside to give 1 to 3, 1 to 3. So if you check it from my time frame, you could see vividly the candles are not a very big momentum to the down. So with that, when we have this middle section structural approach here, within, you will see it snap back into this area, snap back into it. So with that, when you open it on the smallest time frame, 1 hour, there is structural middle section, structural approached back to retest this back end, then impulsive, which is showing here as the direction. The only thing that can happen this week is when the market give a momentum to the down. Then we find a model. Then what's up? That's the only way. That's the only way we can shift structured. That's the only way we can shift the structure to the down. But if the market respects the direction, simply the way it is, we know that time frame, it is expected to sell. But because of the area of volume that's still above, that is why we might still get to this. So the direction first, then we know we are going to the upside. If it flip with a momentum to the downside, we are going to the sell. So apparently, when you check this, it's not my proper range. This is not my proper range setup. Yes, if it's going to be my proper range setup, it has to push, then come back the first one, run to the up, and come back to the second run. Then we finally have a proper range for a run. It has to have a gap. So in this jurisdiction, you might think, oh, yeah, it is quite good for us to buy. That's someone's time frame, which I don't normally use at first. I prefer to use 1 hour time frame. And if I'm going to use 1 hour time frame, and if it's going to make sense, it starts to start from this area like this. Yes, this would now be the eye. So let's go back into this. So with my experience, until it come back, then go back, resume back, that's when I will have interest of buying. Simple as that. So for what? This direction. For this direction, at least here, first we buy into that area first, then continue about 4 hours patterns before it gets to this, or it can give a very aggressive. So let's check the way to move here. So if you check here, the way to move, it's did respect that area. 1, 2, and move. So it creates a value. It creates a value before it push. Scoop, drop, and continue. That's something I expect. So then continue. That's the actual direction. That's the actual direction until it do structural flip. So same thing as Euro USD. This is the actual directions, and you can see banking level here. You can see banking level here. Yeah. So I expect this price action at least come back here first, then come back here second. With that, we now have the reason to sell. The reason to sell and target with this, which is the mid. So that's it. That's my expectation for this week. Least. And we have a proper range. Very good. I'm expecting to see a scoop. Price gets here. Tap here. Then we find opportunity to sell. You need. You look at this pair is doing very, very well. Let's go back. Displacement to the downside. 4 hours pattern formed, which is very, very good. 4 hours pattern formed, which is very, very good. So what do you think I would do in this scenario? On the 1 hour time frame, I'm simply waiting for a drop, respect 1, respect 2, then we find entry, and so to get the mid, yep, that's the mid section at first. GBP card. On 4 hours time frame, it has the same similarity mid section. this area value, area volume, drop at first. Then I can see patterns here. I can see patterns here. A displacement to the downside. So if I want to have a setup, I will need to have it one cleared, pattern for a buy, displacement back, V-shape model drop, one, two, then we move. So we have this here. A drop here, then we zone. That's it. Targets here. You will like, why do I find it very easy? Look at this is a pattern for a buy, a long, then it flips structured, come back to form double bottom and display. Definitely when we see a double bottom, it's coming back to this. And when it drop, it form impulsive one, two, and three. Simple as that. So that's the reason why we are selling, because it has given the double bottom. If you go to smaller time frame, you'll see a pattern there. Let's see. So can you see there is a pattern in that particular region? That's give you more of understanding what I'm saying. Once you understand the system, that's the midsection and that's the structural pattern. You can see the approach, a displacement to the downside. We're expecting a double bounce, which is the midsection of the higher time frame. Then we saw look at the banking levels over there. So it's to work on our time frame. So we are not here by lucky. It is diligent by what? Constant practice. Back to this. On 4 hours time frame. You know me, once I have my direction, I don't bother to think twice. No, not thinking, not guessing working, because we have area displays one. This is 4 hours pattern. That's it. So I know that this market is going to reverse back into this region to form 4 hours pattern before we see a very big launch to the down, to the upside. So apparently the market is moving here. I want to see a very huge displacement, although it might start one displacement here, 4 hours displacement, something big drop, then shift, something like this. But very good. It can drop here, formed the one on 1 hour time frame for you, opportunity to sell, then eventually trying to form something very huge around there, aggressive before it shift structured and form more of. We are using the banking levels for all these things. Let's use the banking level for it so we can have accuracy. We can have accuracy. Seems we get everything right. Look at, I just draw it normal and it worked very fine. So we could have 1 hour patterns there for our entry. Then we launch first, then full TP continuously. So this is what we really have for this. And for the bigger pattern for 4 hours is going to be this. Then we're going to have another 1 hour in this region for entry. So don't use them blindly. These small ones are 1 hour setups. Are 1 hour setups. You can hold it from there to this because playing with that range. So from here, we can now find opportunity on 1 hour again, and we buy to the upside, extremely big, or midsection first. But anytime we see this very huge 4 hours, definitely this is going to be a very massive run, and it's going to be more impulsive. So back to T. So you can see how we position everything perfectly in line with 4 hours pattern expected in this region. So everything is fine. So same thing apply. We have euros, euros, GBP, euro, AUD, and GBP, AUD, Australia, here, area, midsection, structural pattern displays in the original directions. So this is 4 hours, this is 1 hour. This is 4 hours, this is 1 hour. So we have this midsection that is about to form. So let's make use of the opportunity on the 1 hour time frame to find opportunities. Because it won't look like this. I was just done that when I was doing the higher time frame narrative. We're already saying that this is the middle section, the market is dropping. So apparently it has dropped, respected to give a pattern here, come back to this region, then do what? Drop. When it drop, it's going to give us a very big patterns. A drop to this to clear this, then we're going to have more of a very huge structural patterns around there, like 4 hours. It's going to be very huge. Then a massive drop to the downside. Massive drop. A massive drop to the downside. So here is going to be very huge. So we can have the patterns there. The pattern confirmed here as well. If it's used impulsive to the downside, form the patterns here, then drop. It can use that, and it can start from this region because it's still very valid. Yeah. So we're going by this primary one, still very, very much valid. Displacement patterns. The reason is this. The market want to but well, failed. Yeah. It is expected to start shooting up from here, but it fails. That's now give birth to structural flip. So that's why we have opportunity in that region for ourselves. So we're going to have a very huge one here. Very huge patterns there. Something very huge. A structural text. So let's expand the banking levels to extremely 8. So it can cover. Oh, well, wow, everything was accurate. It was just a full of timing. Okay, no problem. That's when we're going to have that massive drop. We can have continuous, more first run, second run, a very big one that will happen here. A very big one. It's likely to happen here. before coming back when we see more or legs like something here and down to this region. So one here, opportunity here. We have another very 1 hour here, 1 hour, 1 hour. Then we're going to have something very huge here. This is based on experience, not as if I'm the one, but the way I know market always react when it wants to balance things, come back, area, midsection, structural pattern, displacement, yeah, we drop. It's often like this. So this, what I'm doing is about 80% high chance the market do this. 80% high chance the market do this. Because I'm very, 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 very much more familiar with how price action reacts. I'm very much more. It can be yeah, yeah, yeah. We can have opportunity around A or A to the upside. So we have many positions for opportunity around this. I'm very, very much more familiar with all this. I'm very familiar with that. Yes. Don't be surprised if it play out. So we're going to have more of opportunity of a buy around here. This is not a mere play. Yep. This is what I have experienced, how price action reacts. So to balance in this region, one, two, three before we experience the buy. And if we're going to experience the buy, at least minimum, it can move aggressive here, give us a patterns here. Then we have a very aggressive run to the upside, whereby we find opportunity in this region for a long. I've seen these often and often playing out, and this is the hardcore of my strategy. This is the hardcore of it, how it's been built to function. Opportunity one, opportunity two, opportunity three, opportunity four, opportunity five. Capitalizing on this. That's how good it is. Then we have it back into this region. So that's one of the reasons we have to wait in this region. Yep. And if this market move to this region, definitely this become what? The mid section. This become the mid section. And we're going to have more legs like this. Yep, more legs like this. And the market will run from this point to the upside. But I'm not with that at the moment because of what I'm saying in this year. That's a midsection. And it's always like to respect it back to wipe out people before moving the actual directions again. So I'm more prepared for this. Back to 4 hours time frame. Key into this region with section structural approach. I'm expecting a displacement to the downside. So let's modify it very well. Let's modify it very well. So, so at least we can have opportunity aggressive to the downside, a confirmation after it cross the yellow line. Then we find opportunity around here. Back into this region and so sometimes it can be halfway. Yep, it can be halfway. When we have this, and we target the mid. Yep. So this is going to be my favorite. This is going to be my favorite for the week. So fast forward to 4 hours time frame. We have many opportunities. The reason why we have A, which is very good. The market might not get to this region because these have the same instruments of controlling the market back to the downside. Opportunity, EMS section, look at the approach, and when you get to 1 hour time frame, you will see the market as making a huge shift with a structural pattern here, about to launch for a sell, about to launch for a sell. So in this region, I'm not yet to worry much on this because it can come down here and find its way down here with this structured and give you 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, then resume. So I know what I'm doing there. So I'm going to leave this neutral. Yes, I'm going to leave this neutral. Neutral. For now, I'll leave it neutral. I think I have this positioned very well. Back into this neutral. So without leaving it neutral, let's position very well in this region. We have a banking level there. Yeah, which is quite very interesting. Yeah, this position is accurate. If it is small at the beginning, definitely it's going to be bigger than this. So I'm still very okay with this. So with this kind of movement on a UDCHF on 4 hours time frame, we have areas, midsection, structural pattern, impulsive approach, and this is likely forming a continuation, which is more like a trap. Yep, I believe it's more like a trap. Yep, what I'm saying. So with that, don't be surprised. Don't be surprised. I'm not disputing it is not going down, but look at the psychological level. Look at the psychological level. Anytime we have price action like this, there is always a flip back into this region, then for we to buy. So I'm not disputing it concern, but this is the accurate area that it is much more best for me to buy. Yes, yes. And with jets. The first one, the structural pattern is going to be big, but at least we can still have it to this region very much more. Observing 4 hours pattern around there. So I'm not disputing it can sell. I'm not disputing. But when it happens like this, no strong, no banking level within, or especially I always avoid that trade. Avoid that trade because I've been with this system for a long period of time. I know when it is between, it's either come back to this or tap to this, then react. So rather than taking trades there, whereby you take a trade, it will give you -1, then you later gets to this before you could recover, rather than having a patient, because I've been with the system for a while. I know how it operates. So the system give me pure market understanding, full concept where liquidity can be there and manipulation can be. So the system has make me much more avoiding manipulation and waiting for the right setup. It has built me very, very well. Very, very, when I mean very, very well. So I mean it very well. So back into this. So before anything could happen, I already sense the best area you could have interest. I'm not disputing it can get to this region. Yes, but when we observe what is actually happened in this region, midsection, structural approach, back tap into this. So where I'm positioned is a dead zone. This is a dead zone. This is a dead zone. So it can tap A, then move aggressive to this region, A, then find opportunity to buy. Simple as that. So this is the last setup on London. Then we pick out the best one we can. So we still have opportunity here. So we already know it can snap into this before recovering, and it can go back up before recovering. So here we stay neutral. We stay neutral on this pair. On this, we stay neutral. We are not adding it because it's not giving the best option. We stay neutral on this because we haven't seen a displacement yet. The smaller one we see, we can take it. Yes, we can take it. Even if we're going to take it, we sell here in the morning. It might not sell very well before it sweep back to tap this area of volume. You know, it is above. It is above. Area of volume is above. That's what I told you. So that's why we stay out of these. And we're going to have more of these. Let's say if you have area of volume above on this particular one, we still have area of volume sitting pretty here. So with these, I'm going to stay neutral. I'm going to stay neutral despite it is locating here. I'm still going to stay neutral. Yes, yes, I'm still going to stay neutral on this. I'm back into this, which is one of our favorite pair for the week, is going to be this. Let's toggle on. Everything was accurate. Everything is accurate. Sorry for using the word. Yeah, back into this region. So my favorite pair for this week is this. Yes, I'm very pleased with that. And this, I'm very pleased with this as well. And let's check. I'll still reduce the numbers of these lines. I'll still reduce the numbers by just using it to. So we have these as well. Very good. And we have this as well. Far more, what do we have on these? We have opportunity here. and we have opportunity here. So those are the pair I'll be looking at London for this week. To have opportunity, oh, 2, 2, 2, that will be 6. Euro USD, Euro CAD, Euro AUD. So very much more good. Very much more good. Yep. So we're done with that. We're going to New York. What do we have in New York? This looking great. Area, structural approach, then backing into this region. So with that, we already have a displacement for hours model. This is what I'm saying. Then we're going to have opportunity in this region. 4 hours midsection, drop here to balance. You can see a tap here. I so much love this position. A tap here, a tap here, a tap here. Then we're expecting to see a tap in this region, push above. We find opportunity. You can see how everything is accurate. I so much love this. I haven't, you can see I was the one setting it properly now. I just do it from higher time frame, and I know I'm going to come to lower time frame to explain the reason why we are having that. So this is actually one of the best that we have for the week. And let's see from higher time frame, area of volume. Very perfect. Then 1 hour, are we showing a displacement? That's the question. If I'm to pick overall best pair for this week, it will be this. Yes, a displacement to the downside. We're looking for our model, and so at least to where? To the mid. So you can say I was just perfecting everything by myself after I've done it on 1 hour time frame, on 4 hours time frame, sorry. So 4 hours time frame again. We are going to this down. So apparently this is avoidable because it can still find its way. Let me tell you what it can do. The first run is this. The second run is not complete very well. So definitely sorry, the market can easily manipulate here, drop here to balance this, giving you a structural pattern midsection. So for that, then find its way to drop. That's it. This will now become midsection. So the system helped me to know each area, what is expected in the middle. And I'm not saying it can drop here. It can, but the higher chance is there. So we are avoiding this. We are avoiding this. Now, this particular one, area of volume, midsection, drop here. So I'm saying this market, you see, this particular area it is. I'm not disputing it can push, but I'm saying anytime market break any significant like this, the market is likely come back to retest it before moving to the downside. But this is giving a gap in between. So I'm saying this as a manipulation and the market will shift directions. So we're going to place this very well here. You can say I'm the one doing the perfection myself. I've drawn such from a higher time frame before. So just doing the perfection on 1 hour time frame if it happened without banking levels before. So I'm using the banking level to balance the accurate. So I'm saying aggressive to the up. Yes. So to me, I'm not looking for a sell. I'm looking for a buy. And it's going to be one of my favorite pair. So this does not tap into low, it does not tap into high. We have to leave it neutral. Don't force it if it does not have a base. So this area is very good, although it haven't tap. Anytime we see price action gets to the high, it is expected to get to the low, or at least 90%. And this is not yet to the 90% risk, 90% ratio. Can you see? So there is still a room. This market is coming there. So in this particular scenario, we now have another area of volume in between midsection structural patterns. So with this, I really need to be conscious with this. If it's move like this to the upside, but I've seen a scenario like this whereby this become 1, 2, and 3 before it shifts structured. Yes, that's it. So in this nutshell, the question you will ask me, what will you do in this? Is it how the market use a jump to break immediately to the downside? Yes, this week, break immediately to the downside with a momentum to the downside. And that's going to be very high risk, so we're avoiding it because it will open with a wide spread and it is not making sense. So at nutshell, there was a gap here and that's area. You have to always respect those things. And the market has tapped into it on oil price. And I'm saying, like I told you, there is a war coming. There is a war coming. So 4 hours tap, remember there is a gap and this is the key levels. So on midsection, tap into this, which is a structural approach. This is a structural approach. This is the midsection. You can see midsection. So this is a structural pattern in between area of value, area of volume. Then I'm expecting a spring up. So let's see, let's modify it very well with our banking levels. So having a very huge momentum to the up is very good, it's very good, it's very good. So we have to reduce it a little bit to be more considerate. Push here, drop, then move at least to this. That's still very, very much okay to fill that gap. That's perfect. That's perfect. At first, that's perfect area that we can aim. So it's part of my favorite pair for this week. And good. Good area, midsection, structural pattern, a displacement. So when we go to 1 hour time frame, it is not locating where I should have make profit on this good is last week. I fucked up. This is a pattern in between, but I don't like this pattern. You already know. Steeps. Steeps. I told you to always avoid steep patterns, which is here. buy, then we target this. So to me, in this particular region, until it finally, at least, snap into this or this, if I could have any interest. So I would rather leave this. I'd rather leave gold for silver because silver is going to give me, look at the gaps. I'll be chasing, I will be chasing 400 to 400, 500. So it's going to be very 4,080. If we're going to do it in a proper other way around, it's going to be more of this 40, 100. We are going to use 40, 50. 40, 50, because that's the 50 psychological level line. That's 50 psychological level line. Good. So when it is like this, to me, if I want to take any trades on gold, 50 to 100, and it is currently around 95. So the market is expected to drop into this region first, back into this, before we look for opportunity on the long on 4,050, 100. Yes. Same way it happened on this particular one, 4,000, 4,100, 4,050. So I'm waiting around there and good. So I'll be adding good to this week. Yep. Yep, 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 yep. I'm adding good to this week for the buy. So we're done for this, and we've added the best thing for the week. So far, so good with accuracy. Accuracy, and back to this particular one. When we have here, definitely is coming to this region. And as it gets into 90%, as it gets into 90% of the move, no, definitely no. Back here, displacement. So that's why you see this market is making a huge shift back to the downside. So on Euro JPY, where do you think I will have my setup? This is not snapping. It did not snap into this region. Oh, it snapped there. It's not there with the green candle and close there. So we have opportunity at where? We have opportunity to drop to the downside. We expect this region before we sell. Yep, that's it. That's it. To avoid confusions. So that's it. Structural middle section, structural push area, displacement. We're waiting for a model. Then we have our position for a sell. Yeah. Back midsection, at least. That's to the midsection least. Before, see, the reason why we target the midsection, you can see this market can eventually tap into this and manage to come back here, tap here before resuming to the downside from a very big mini section. So we have to take this opportunity first, and later you can find it here or here opportunity. So we are adding this It's quite good. So we have area, midsection. So I'm going to avoid this. It is not accurate. It is not accurate. We're avoiding this. Area tab. Then we still have area volume here. So the market is yet to get to that area. And we have a displacement to the upside because midsection, look at the approach here, structural, tap into area value, not area volume, because this external, this is mid swing. Now this is area of value, area of volume. And this market has given this 4 hours formed here. 4 hours pattern was there, but I don't need to catch it. Another 4 hours opportunity is not. So with this, I'm avoiding it. Here's the JPY. This PA is so much more confusing. If you check on the daily time frame, snap into this, it move with here to this, and we have this, which is very good. Midsections. We have midsections here. We have the kind of approach, which is a corrective approach. We're expecting a displacement to the downside, which I've been waiting and no displacement yet. So I'm looking for a big displacement. I saw this at first. I was hoping it's going to react here to sell until here. So I'm still waiting for a huge one. Then model around here. I will be looking for a sell. But without that, nothing can be done because when we have something like this, you can have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and this market can still manage to make a U-turn to this, then display it, form a model here before we sell. So in a nutshell, I would rather go for this than this. Yep. So leave it neutral. So this particular one, I'm still expecting to take it after its break, coming back to this and close bullish for the week. Area, structural approach, midsection, structural patterns. You will see it clearly now. Structural patterns, midsection, structural approach, a displacement to the up. So I'm saying each one, tap, tap, and close. So with that, if you check on 1 hour time frame, that's the reason why. And why are we avoid this? Why are we avoid this? Is this the psychological level is above. And if this candle close, I will need to see a very huge momentum candle. And that's going to give me a very high risk on 1 hour. So I'm avoiding it. So back into this, tap, tap, structure up push, middle section. Now we now have structural pattern. Structural patterns, you can see approach. So we're waiting for a displacement to the upside on this. I'm not looking for a sell. Yes, I'm not looking for a sell on this. I'm all looking for a displacement to the upside. You can see I was just the one doing the perfection now. Not as if that's been done before. I just do the higher time frame narrative directions. Then we have this targeting to the midsection at least. So this part of my pair for the week. So same thing here. This is more of a fake out. I'm expecting a reverse. And at least this has to be here. A very huge one. And we'll be looking for a back here. Targeting the mid. So here we are the two cards and BTC. Snap here, midsection, drop, structural approach. Here, look at structural approach displacement. It's supposed to sell again when we are already have this here, but refused. So it's coming. So I'm looking for it. It has tapped into this, which is very, very fine, and moving like a displacement to the downside with this. But it's above the psychological level. So I'm still waiting for it to cross further before we could sell. And I'm going to take the 4 hours, not this 1 hour. I'm going to take the 4 hours, which is going to be more of like this. Sorry, more of like this. To the downside. So it's going to be around here. I will find opportunity to sell BTC. So we have to leave this for now. We have to leave it for now. If we want to take it, this is after I break that line. And it's going to raise more. So we leave it for now. Now back into, we've already sent up pairs. This I'm still expecting it to drop here. You will see it more clearly on higher time frame. This is the key levels. This is the midsection structural pattern, and this is the approach. So I'm expecting it to drop into this region to peak liquidity, close for 1 hour patterns, then we long. So I'm only looking for opportunity on this. I've been waiting for this so long. You see why do I put all this pair here? Because they are continental correlated pair. They are pair of the same continents. This is Asian. Those two pairs are, this is Euro GBP. Both pairs are on Euros. So we see area, midsection structural patterns. You can see tumble. So we avoid this. We avoid this area, midsection structural approach. This is 1 hour displacement, but as yet, so I'll wait for 4 hours patterns. 4 hours pattern. So we have to wait for that because the 1 hour is not locating at what? A banking level. Check. It's not locating at the banking level, any banking level at all. So this area, midsection, structural approach, look at the displacement, a corrective displacement, and that's the reason why we closed it that fateful day. So we are looking for a buy here. Once it moves in this region, we are moving to find